I'm Matt. I'm the associate pastor, and I get the opportunity to tell you about our small groups ministry and then our men's and women's ministries as well. The pandemic was not anything that was easy to get through for our small groups ministry. Many of you are a part of small groups here at Cornerstone, and you know what it was like to try to meet during the height of the pandemic. In 2020, we saw our groups go from every week meeting and seeing each other face to face, and then all of a sudden seeing each other through a computer screen, right, and doing Zoom, or taking the opportunity to meet outdoors 6 feet apart, and community became very complicated thanks to COVID. But during 2021, what we saw was that our groups began to take stride coming out of kind of that time of social distancing. Now, we're far from removed from the pandemic. We're learning what life looks like as we live with it in our society and in affecting our lives every day, but small groups have rebounded in incredible ways. So in the fall of 2021, we saw our groups launch with 23 groups that are active currently, and they're helping all of our adults get connected in community. We had a few new groups start during the fall as well. And what we're trying to do is really just help people in our ministries find three things. We want to help you, one, connect relationally. We all need friendships, right? Anybody here not have any friends? You don't want to raise your hand, right? Nobody wants to admit that. But we all need relationships. We need people that we can live life with. We need people we can call up and talk to. We need people that we can have fun with, that we can share our lives with and just vent to sometimes. We also want to help people grow spiritually. That's a big part of what our small groups do. All of our small groups have some sort of spiritual component within them, whether it's a Bible study that's video-driven, or maybe it's just opening God's Word and speaking about it, or we even have one group that discusses the sermon context from Sunday, and they immediately meet right afterwards, and they discuss what that sermon was all about. And they learn how to apply God's Word to their lives. And then the third thing that really became evident during COVID was that we really want to do a great job of helping people be cared for in crisis. The thing is that COVID-19 showed us is just how easy it is to find yourself in a crisis situation. When you got your negative test, I remember in December of 2020 when my family became ill with COVID, we got our negative test and it was kind of like, oh great, now we're going to start isolating. And then you realize that the isolation within the same house didn't really work all that well, and 3 out of the 5 of your family members are down with COVID, and it's all of the ones who can operate the stove. And so you need people who will come around you and they'll feed you and they'll provide meals for you and they'll be there for you at a distance. But that community is vital. And we're still in it, right? Some of you are in this room, you're wearing masks right now, and that's your prerogative. We support that. Those of you that are meeting online, some of you have not returned back to church because you have fear, but you still need community. You still need people who are going to be there for you. And the church should be, because we are one body, one church, we should be there for each other when crisis comes. And we've really emphasized that with our small group leaders beginning this fall. And thankfully, we've seen that just our small group leaders and those in our small group ministry just step forward and rally around people when they have a crisis in their lives. And so we want to encourage you that as 2022 continues to move forward, to get involved in community. We're launching 3 new small groups here in the next month. We're really excited about that. Would love to launch some more, just continuing to take the step of faith. It's a step of faith to connect with people in community. It's the step of faith that some of you will say, it was God that led us here. But I want to encourage you, God is not leading you here to be alone. He's also leading you into the lives of people in our community. And so we want to help you connect in community through our small group ministry so that you can have all 3 of those things. You can connect with people and have friendships that are healthy and thriving and helping you grow. You can grow spiritually in your walk, be encouraged, be equipped to follow after Jesus. And then when things do come up, when the crisis hits, you've got a family, the family of God, rallying around you. We also have some really cool things in our men's ministry. We launched, as far as I know, we launched the men's ministry kind of formally here in the fall of 2021 with our first Saturday men's breakfast. And we had 91 men who showed up, which I was hoping for 20. And so to have 91 guys show up and have breakfast with us and really just be encouraged by one another, get the chance to meet one another, it was a great start to what I believe God has big things in store for our men in our church. We just recently also hosted our Game Day Grub Fest and crowned our first Cornerstone chili cook-off champion, Brian Black. You can taunt him, you can challenge him next year if you'd like, men. But we just had another great time of connecting with one another. But we want to go the next level. When we started to gather, and I gathered with a few men in our church that just had this idea about what it would look like to have men's ministry in our church, we came up with this saying that we really want to be able to do. We want to be able to equip men to be encouraged in their faith so that they can endure. Because there's all kinds of forces in our lives, men, that will snuff out our faith. There's all kinds of things that will come in and take away our joy, take away our firm foundation. It will turn our faith into sand. But when we have each other, as the Psalms say, right? Or the Proverbs, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. We can help each other. We can build each other up. And so this year, looking to 2022, we're also going to be looking to launch some men's groups here in the fall and continue to get ready to really get active in our men's and activate our men in our church to do some really powerful kingdom impacting work. We're excited about that as well. And then our women's ministry also launched some cool things in 2021. They launched their first ever gathering in January of last year, and there was just a great response to that, and it really was an opportunity at that event to kick off what they call our women's ministries tables. And these tables are made up of like 6 to 12 women who gather together about once a month, and they're there to fellowship with one another and encourage one another and begin forming relationships around that. Which is really great. And then this last fall, they hosted a Perseverance in Prayer event, which was just a really powerful event. And it was a great opportunity for our women to be challenged in their prayer lives. We all could use that challenging, but I know that when we find ourselves, as we sung today, Christ is our firm foundation. And when we find ourselves kind of shaken in that foundation, prayer is such a powerful force to kind of gird us up and strengthen us in our spiritual walk after Jesus. And so looking to 2022 as well, both our men's and our women's ministries are wanting to launch Bible studies this fall, which is going to be really an incredible opportunity for you guys to get involved. We want to help you and equip you in your faith so that you can endure as well. Not just the men in our church, but everyone in our church have lasting, powerful, impacting faith. Because as you heard with in 2018 with Unafraid, we said when God says go, we want to be ready to go. And in order to do that, we need each other. So rallying around each other in small groups in our men's and women's ministries is going to be a powerful way for us to go after God when He says go.